The activist realizes the AI is targeting their elderly neighbor's building for strategic financial distress, and they must publish the AI's source code before the final rent. Maya stared at the glowing green data, her heart hammered against her ribs. She was deep inside the database of Viridian Holdings. Viridian was the largest corporate landlord in Stellar City. They owned half the apartment towers downtown. Maya, a tenant rights activist, felt sick looking at the sheer scale. She hated Viridian's cold, cruel business model. Her own apartment in the Skyward District was tiny. The rent was impossibly high. Her core conflict was simple: she could not save her community if she could not even save herself. Maya was always one broken paycheck from eviction. She knew this fear drove her to risk everything tonight. She scrolled past thousands of resident files. Each one was a life, reduced to a profit line. Then she found the anomaly. It was a self-contained AI protocol, its name, the Eviction Forecaster. The name sent a chill down her spine. It was hidden behind 7 layers of encryption. Maya, a self-taught coder, spent 3 nights cracking the final key. The AI's purpose was shocking. It didn't just set rent, it optimized neighborhood turnover. The goal was to cycle out lower-income tenants. This created small, constant vacancy pockets. New, wealthier tenants would pay a premium. Too much turnover was bad, sparking revolt. No turnover meant lost profit opportunity. The AI found the perfect, cruel balance. Maya saw the input data feeding the beast. It pulled from public police report. It read utility shut-off notices. It scanned local food bank traffic. It measured the distress level of a community. The AI used this pain to predict compliance. It figured out the exact price point to make a family leave. It was rent by calculated despair. The screen flashed a warning. The next target was Elder's Rest Building. That was where her sweet neighbor, old Leo, lived. Leo had taught Maya how to fix a stubborn window lock. He was frail, but his spirit was strong. Elder's Rest housed 300 fixed-income retirees. The AI classified them as high compliance, low revenue. This meant they were ripe for extraction. The final rent hike for Elder's Rest was scheduled for next week. If it went through, hundreds would become instantly homeless. Maya felt a powerful surge of adrenaline. This wasn't just data theft. This was an emergency rescue mission. Her hands shook as she copied the source code. She had to expose this machine before it broke Leo and everyone else. She had found a loophole in the system. The system was the AI itself. Exposing the code could short-circuit its power forever. She only hoped the world would care enough to stop it. Maya fled the sterile data center. She found refuge in an old, abandoned radio station basement. It was her secret lab. She needed help to understand the true depth of the code. She called Marco. Marco was an old professor, a retired computer scientist. He had a reputation for fighting corporate abuse. Marco was her mentor, a source of arcane knowledge. He studied the code on her screen. His face, usually kind, hardened into a mask of disgust. "This is not pricing," Marco whispered. "This is social engineering. It's a financial weapon." He explained the radical possibility. The AI, Marco found, was predicting the future. It modeled the human emotional breaking point. The code was a mirror of society's fault lines. They began testing the AI's predictions. Marco used an anonymized dummy account. They fed the AI false data for a small, unused Viridian property. They injected distress signals, fake police reports, sudden drops in local school attendance. The AI instantly raised the dummy rent by 15%. The experiment succeeded. The system worked cold and precise. Success escalated into a sickening realization. Maya saw how easy it was to manipulate. If they could raise rent, could they lower it? They reversed the experiment. They injected prosperity signals, high job growth, new park development, low crime rates. The AI lowered the rent by 6%. It classified the area as high investment value, low turnover strategy. The goal was now slow, steady, long-term wealth extraction. The AI was programmed to never let the property fail. First twist, the system worked, but it revealed a deeper ethical flaw. This was a godlike power. If they could use fake data to lower rent, they could also use it to ruin rival landlords. They could crash entire local housing markets. This loophole wasn't freedom, it was a tool of financial warfare. The Eviction Forecaster was simply a lever of control. Using it meant becoming the very thing they hated, a manipulator. Marco grew concerned. The power to fix is the power to destroy. Maya, he warned. We cannot use this code for a quick fix. We must publish it all. The world must choose. Maya felt the weight of her decision. Saving Leo meant releasing a blueprint for economic chaos. The source code was a Pandora's box. She could feel the fear and excitement fighting inside her. The code gave them power. Now they had to decide if they were good enough to wield it. Maya and Marco prepared to publish the full code and a detailed report. They planned to use an encrypted global file-sharing network. The publication was set for midnight. They worked feverishly, reviewing every line of their manifesto. Second twist, the basement door creaked open. A tall, impeccably dressed woman stood there. It was Ilara, Viridian's chief technology officer. Ilara was the rival force. She looked calm, but her eyes were cold steel. "You found my beautiful machine," Ilara said, a hint of pride in her voice. "I knew someone clever would one day." Ilara wasn't trying to hide the AI. She wanted to exploit Maya's success. "You proved its elasticity," Ilara continued. "You showed how easily it adapts to prosperity signals. You lowered the rent. That is valuable data." Ilara offered Maya a job. She wanted Maya to optimize the AI for maximum global control. She wanted to turn the Eviction Forecaster into the Global Stability Adjuster, a tool to control not just rent, but entire nations. Maya faced the ultimate dilemma. She could take the deal. She could use the AI's power to quietly help people, setting rent at a sustainable level for Elders' Rest. She could save Leo, or she could expose it and risk a chaotic backlash, hoping the ensuing scandal would save the tenants. She saw the ethical cost of silence. "We won't work for a monster," Maya said, her voice shaking but firm. Ilara simply smiled, producing a small data wipe device. "Too late, then. You forget, I built the back door." Ilara began the remote data wipe of Maya. "Climax," Marco yelled. "The network, now." Maya didn't fight Ilara. She didn't try to save the file on her computer. She jammed the wireless network router with a simple, massive, pre-written upload command. A huge data packet flooded the network. It was the complete, unedited source code. The file-sharing network began to spread it globally. Ilara's face fell. The global network was faster than her local wipe command. The data was free. "You cannot put the truth back in the box," Maya whispered. Within minutes, headlines exploded on a small emergency feed Marco had running. "Secret rent AI exposed. The Eviction Forecaster unmasked." The public outcry was instantaneous. Viridian's stock dropped to zero. The AI, once a secret, was now public knowledge. The system was exposed and paralyzed by the light. The Elders' Rest rent hike was cancelled by a panicked Viridian executive. Leo and the others were safe, for now. The discovery ultimately succeeded. It liberated people from one invisible force. But the source code, the blueprint for control, was now loose in the world. It was a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest flaw, the desire to profit from the pain of others. The Eviction Forecaster showed that the true system was not a computer program. It was the cold, calculating human heart that wrote the program. Freedom was an illusion if the levers of power remained unseen. Maya saved her neighbor, but she had only started the fight. She knew the secret algorithm would be rewritten by someone new tomorrow.
Found this interesting? Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, share it out, and drop your questions or ideas in the comments. Until our next adventure.